Hello, and welcome to our next part of the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. Specifically, we are playing Snowcloak this time. Snowcloak is a story dungeon that takes place in the 2.4 storyline. We are starting to get toward the end of the level 50 content. This is a fairly simple dungeon, not terribly exciting in my opinion. But there are a few interesting mechanics to worry about here. Alright, so let's see how aggressive our tank is going to be. Typically, most tanks will take everything in this first room at least. The really bold ones will even try going into the next room. Alright, looks like we're just sticking with this group of enemies, which is perfectly alright. Alright, this next section, there are 5 of these Snowcloak wolves, and then beyond that, you'll find a bear further down the hill, and that bear actually guards the key to the next section. Again, some tanks will pull the wolves and the bear together. Just be ready to take whatever size will pull your tank once, and drop your AoEs and all of that as you need to. Keeping in mind that Summoner, as you've seen throughout all these level 50 dungeons, isn't really all that strong in AoE. You got your Bane, you got your Shadow Flare, which pops once a minute. You got your pet AoE, which is a little more usable, and you got Enkindle, which is once every 3 minutes. But don't worry, when you start getting into Heavensward content, things are going to start looking a lot better for the Summoner for AoE. Okay, so, first boss, Wandil. You want to stay closer to the center of the room for this, because eventually the outside of the room is going to be an issue. In this fight, you're going to want to hold AoE as much as you can on the boss until the frost bombs start showing up. They're going to need to die, as they'll do a nice room-wide AoE that's going to hurt everybody. Now, one thing I keep forgetting is when he casts that room-wide ice AoE, I believe that if you keep moving, you're not going to get stacks of the frozen condition. Snowdrift, I think it is. Or maybe not. Yeah. Alright, now you want to be in the middle of the room. Yeah, if you're moving... Oh no, never mind, that was because I had a nocturnal field on me. Alright, frost bombs, these need to die. Oh, or of course you can just kill the boss. Alright, so that's the first boss. Again, not terribly difficult. In summary, stay in the middle of the arena, keep moving around when he's using his ice attacks, kill the bombs as soon as possible, and that's really all you need to know. Alright, so you'll see snowballs show up throughout this section, and the snowballs will be hiding these Snowcloak goo-goos. So just know, especially if you're tanking, those are enemies that you're going to see in the snowballs, so just know that when you're trying to decide how big of a pull you want to make. In this next section, you'll see wind blowing across this section here. If you're inside that windy area, you will take damage over time, so stay out of the wind. I definitely have everything affected in Bane. The ice sprites are tricky because they're casters, and grouping up any sort of caster or ranged enemy can be difficult. You basically need to get far away from them and have them group up as they're following you, and then double back and tank the enemies where your ranged opponents end up. Now you'll note if you run across while the wind is lessened, like that, you won't actually take damage over time, which is convenient when you're crossing, but don't try to tank things there. This tank is not trying to tank things there. This is good. Alright. Now this next boss is one that's really more dependent on the tank than on anything else, as the boss really can't be DPS'd in normal manner. Alright, so next boss here is the Yeti. Now what's going to happen is ads are going to show up throughout the fight, and what the ads are is depending on how you deal with them. Now we'll start by fighting the Yeti as normal, but you'll notice he's really not going to take a lot of damage. What needs to happen is the tank needs to aim that cone AoE so that it hits the Spriggans. Nobody else should be attacking the Spriggans, because you want the Spriggans hit by that ice attack. So the tank, ideally, should be trying to aim the Yeti toward the Spriggans. When the Frost Mountain shows up, DPS should take it down. There. That's what happens. The Spriggans will turn into snowballs. If a snowball gets hit with the ice AoE, they're gonna keep growing. Bigger, and then basically what you're gonna do is get behind the snowball, well there, like the tank is doing, and push it into the Yeti. You notice how much damage that did to the Yeti. It also interrupts the attack northerlies, which is a nice big room-wide AoE that you really don't want to get hit by. Oh, look at all the snowballs that form from that. The tank can keep that up and get a lot of those snowballs to grow. This battle's going to be over pretty quick. There's another Frostbound. Frostbound is going to cause you pain and suffering. So we're going to get him out of the way. And really, it's more important that that as a DPS that you take down the Frostbound than you do damage to the boss. Because the snowballs are what's going to damage the boss. I note he's saving one for northerlies. And that's all you need. That was very well handled. That was completely by the books, and that tank really knew what he was doing. So again, really how fast that fight goes is entirely dependent on whether the tank is properly using that ice AoE to hit all of those Spriggans, make the snowballs, grow the snowballs with the same AoE, and then shoot them at the Yeti. Now those glacier sprites, you'll note that eventually they're going to self-destruct with those massive AoEs. That tank just basically wanted to bait them and get them all to go off, and he successfully did so. So then just kill the Hrimthurs there. Now, this room is going to have several waves of enemies to worry about. So the first wave here is the Hrimthurs and a bunch of frost bombs. And the tank did a really good job of pulling everything together there. This is actually a really good tank. So use your AoEs best you can. Now watch out, the detonator won't actually self-destruct the ice bombs, so it's not as powerful as a self-destruct move, but it'll still hurt pretty bad, especially if you get hit with 3 of them in succession the way they were casting. Now, once you're done with the ice bombs and the Hrimthurs, you're not done with this room. Some more sections will open up. There will be some Spriggans and a hybrid gator. Again, the tank will work to gather everything up. And now those icicles, which you saw earlier in the dungeon, will start popping up. They'll drop, and then they'll put in a big circle AoE that you gotta worry about. I'm going to work my way over to this side of the room because I know what's coming next. Basically, you kind of want to be away from that side of the room if you're not the tank. Because when those go down, that section of the wall goes down, and there is a Snowcloak. Some more of those icicle AoEs will drop, so stay out of the way of those. Now, I had mentioned in Stone Vigil Hard the haranguing harriers that can use Dragon's Blood to change into Avis enemies. Well, there are similar enemies here, and we're going to see some coming up. The Dove Avis are the Avis enemies in this, and the Cherry Harrier are the ones that cast Dragon's Blood, and it doesn't look like the tank really cares about that. Alright, the tank is going to pull everything. Alright, that's fine. This is about the first time I've seen somebody try to make this entire pull. Strident Scream, and it's because of Strident Scream. See that big old room-wide AoE that's absolutely wrecking everybody? There are now 5 of those Avis that are tossing those out. So you got to be really confident in your healer and your DPS that they're going to be able to take down these Avis in enough time that you're just not going to get absolutely ruined by repeated Strident Screams. Fortunately, we do have the DPS to take care of this, and the healer is doing a very good job. This is just a good party. Once all the Avis are down, pick up the Finger of the Apostate. But yeah, normally what would happen is you would interrupt the Cherry Harriers before they drink the Dragon's Blood, as they're a lot easier to kill if they don't drink the Dragon's Blood. I'm gonna skip the cutscenes. I think these guys are in a hurry. Alright, so this boss is Fenrir, and he's got a lot of mechanics. So, we'll walk you through them as they go. It's mainly going to focus around those icicle AoEs as they come up. So, be on the lookout. Here's how it works. Alright, so, 1,000 Year Storm will hit everybody. And shortly after that, he's going to do that, and 3 AoEs are going to drop. 2 icicles will do line AoEs, the third will stay on the field a little longer, and then it will do a circle AoE around it, and it will explode. Now, the first time that mechanic happens, you just stay out of the way. The second time that mechanic happens, which is right now, you need to pay close attention. Okay. The one that doesn't have the line AoE, you need to get behind before the boss casts Lunar Cry. Otherwise, you'll get frozen, and you're going to be the target of Fenrir's next attack. Just like what happened to our friend Red Mage. Now, if everybody gets behind it and nobody gets frozen, then the boss will actually go after the tank. And that's what you want to have happen. You want the boss going after the tank. Because what happened to the Red Mage is he got hit by Fenrir's attack, but he was still frozen when the icicle went off, and he just wasn't able to live through that combo. Alright, so that was the 3rd time he used the icicles. Now this 4th time, watch whichever ones have the line AoEs. And, yeah, find the one that doesn't, get behind the pillar. Alright, I'm gonna res the healer, because the healer had problems with that too. Yeah, you gotta be really proactive when the icicles come up. You just have to know whichever one doesn't have the line AoE coming out of it, that's where you need to go, and you need to go right now. Because that will kill you. So yeah, that's Snowcloak. It's a fun little dungeon. It's my least favorite of the 2.4 dungeons, and that's merely because Stasha Hard and Sunken Temple Hard are both really good dungeons. Yeah, Tank is definitely getting my combo on that. He did a great job. Alright, so that's Snowcloak. And we only have a couple pieces of content left in the 2.4 series. We have one trial, which is going to be unlocking shortly in the story. And then we're going to have...
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light.
Of course they don't. But we're going to deal with that little situation very shortly, because we're just about to unlock the next story trial, which is Shiva. And then I will also play the fight against Ultros and Typhon from the Hildebrand side story. Final Fantasy VI fans will remember Ultros, and Typhon for that matter. And that will conclude the 2.4 series, and then we'll get into 2.5 and almost be done with level 50 content. So until then, have a wonderful day.